there's chat.
Maybe mine's just not refreshing.
Yeah, it's live.
Yeah, there we are. Cool.
just talking to ourselves.
I'm just
Sounds like something we would do.
That is exactly something we should do. Did everyone catch the beginning, or is this the beginning? Whatever, man. Welcome to the Get Off My Lawn episode. I'm Hal the Geek, and we have one Captain Xavier. Cap, man, what's shaking, brother?
What is? Well, I, as you said, I wasn't at Toy Fair. I don't think I've ever. I might have been invited at some point. Back when I was, a bigger deal. But I've seen all the videos. I've seen the posts that people have made. I've seen all of that, and it's awesome. All three of the major brands at this point, X-Shot, Dart Zone, and Nerf, had really cool looking blasters, and that hasn't happened for a while. And they all seem to. Well, the X-Shot and Dart Zone certainly are catering to our side of the hobby, and Hasbro seems to have either recognized their mistakes or what. But it's really, really cool. I'm looking forward to talking about them and having our thoughts. We have some pictures from one of them. I think we just have Dart Zone pictures. Other pictures seem to be harder to find. Show a picture. Yeah, so we've got this one. It's a new Nexus Pro. It's going to be even cheaper than the previous Nexus Pro, and it's pink. And it looks lovely. This is the Nexus Pro XXX, which dubious. But I like that they're continuing the theme of bright colors. We need to keep bright colors in the hobby. They also have a new SMG, kind of similar to the Maxim, was it? I think it was the Maxim.
Yes and no, because it is like the Maxim, but this one
has select fire and adjustable FPS. So it's got a switching, semiotic full auto. We've seen that in their blasters before, but now they actually have the dial that allows you to turn it up or down, which is awesome. It also is dual magwell, so it's got two magwells, similar to Hasbro did it on one of their Zombie Strike blasters, I think.
It was
on one of the Ultra blasters, where it's got two magazines and it just shifts it side to side.
I don't think they did it on the Zombie Strike. I think it was just the Ultra line.
And then they have a double-barreled. Oh, that was just double-barreled, right? Yeah, that didn't have a shifting magwell. It had two magwells, but that was just because it had two barrels.
Yep. And the barrels would.
Would oscillate.
Man.
But the two magwells that shift, that's been done, but now it's being done with half darts on an SMG that's select fire. Love it. Apparently, it also has 20-round magazines, so 40 rounds without having to pull a mag. Just rotate the foregrip. Apparently, the foregrip looking thing will shift the magwell side to side, which is an interesting design. I kind of liked Hasbro's where it was a pump, but I like that. What else did Dart Zone
Well, hold on. Before we move on from that one, the interesting thing with that one, too, is when you think about the grip as you hold on to it, right? You'd have to extend it out further. People will confuse it because people get confused. But then at the same time, you just hit it with your finger. But I think as many as, I think it was Hixie, one of the first ones I saw that pointed it out, was the fact that because it's adjustable rate of fire, SMG, so it's nice and short dart, and 40 rounds, it'll be curious to see, especially if it comes out in time, with all the HVZs happening this summer, how many are going to use that? That suddenly becomes like a predominant HVZ, especially in a pinch, your HVZ primary.
The question there is going to be, what is the max FPS? Because there isn't any way to lock the FPS with it being adjustable. So you could dial it down for your chronoing, and then it'd be real easy to turn it back up, which would violate Rule 1 very thoroughly. But I don't know what the max is, so that might not be an issue. Clubs might take issue with that. We will see. I've never had an issue with it with any of my adjustable blasters. My FTL3 will obviously go well above the 120 that most HVZs are. But it does have a way that you can limit it so that the outside dial will max out at 120, because there's an inside dial that will then also can limit what the outside dial will do, which was a brilliant way of doing it. Some of the really fancy ones, you can actually do a lock. You can lock the adjustment so it can only go so high for the next 24 hours or something.
Yep.
My pew pews will also do more than the 120, but I've never had anybody question. Maybe it's because I'm me and they trust me, but who knows? But yeah, that's really cool. What was the other Dart Zone one? There was more Dart Zone, wasn't there?
There was
Yeah, they've
also
got another revolver, but it's a top prime, but it has a stock attachment point. That was an interesting looking one.
Yes.
Did they have anything
And
else?
then obviously they're going to have the
it's dark now.
Not the Buccaneer pistol, the long
the
one,
pirate pistols, the revolver and the little rifle-y looking thing,
which will be, I think, finally in market. At least, the pistols are already here, but the top one that you
I
smuggled in from
really wish
Australia.
they had made the top one have a similar barrel design as the pistol, the rifle as the pistol, so it looked more like a volley gun rather than a musket with a revolver. Because both of those existed, pepper boxes and volley guns were both actual things. And so if they'd done with a big rotating cylinder on the front, it actually would have looked more like a weapon that had actually existed in history. But that's just me being picky, honestly. I have them. I got them smuggled in from Australia back when they first came out. And there is already a replacement cylinder for the pistol that makes it, I believe, 6 round and half dart.
I was thinking there has to be, because it can't be that difficult just to change out that front barrel.
No,
people have designed harder and more difficult
normally it's a 4 round, and they made it 6. I love the sound it makes when it primes. It's click, 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 snap. It's so satisfying. So those are both really cool. It's interesting that they made them blue for the US release, because the Aussie release was red, but transparent red. But again, easy to paint if you really wanted to.
And if we only knew a guy that did that.
If only we knew a guy, or if only there was a way to change the color of things.
I know, like, come on, man.
X-Shot is also coming out strong, but they are mostly apparently just copying Dart Zone, but for cheaper.
So for those that are late to the room, we just started right off the bat with some Dart Zone ones. We'll probably circle back, but going through things if you're wondering where we're at from it. This is the first mention of X-Shot.
As we go.
We do allegedly, and I have no proof of this, but you hear from through a bird, through this, through that. It's a game of telephone call. But there may have been an X-Shot representative that kind of may have said something to the effect of, "You guys make cool stuff. We'll just copy it and make it better."
And I pointed out, well, you'll make it cheaper. I don't know if that's necessarily better.
Correct.
We'll see. But they've made their own version of the Venom. X-Shot now has something. I think it's called the Thrasher.
I want to say yes.
But it looks like a slightly more angular Venom, which is again just a reshelled Nightingale when you get right down to it, which is a fabulous grip mag in grip. They take. Hopefully, it also takes Nightingale mags. I mean, I can't imagine they wouldn't, because if they didn't, what's the point? What are you even doing? I like the look of it better. I like the more angular look over the Venom. I like that it has a proper rev trigger. I never liked the grip safety rev trigger. I understood the idea of it, but I like a standard rev trigger. I don't like double stage rev. I like a trigger, but that's just me. They've also come out with their own, what appears to be their own equivalent of the Outlaw, a hammer primed half dart revolver. Though I've seen some interesting speculation on. I haven't seen a video of it actually operating. So if anybody in the comments knows if it actually is hammer primed, because I've yet to see that demonstrated. Some speculation is that it's brake action, which maybe allow for cylinder swap. It looks like it might break open, like some revolvers do, to allow for a cylinder swap. It looks like it might not have the same sealed breech that the Outlaw does. which means it might not be as powerful. It does have a B car, but the B car is where the barrel would be. So I don't know how much barrel it has or how much. I have all kinds of questions, and I haven't seen a good breakdown. I've seen only pictures of it in the box. So, but that one's called the Spin Shot, apparently. But again, another hammer primed half dart revolver. Love it.
For comment on that one, it would be a wasted opportunity, especially if you're gonna kind of take what someone else has done and try to improve on it and take away the hammer prime, because
the biggest thing.
Yeah,
the thing
that's
that's
the biggest drawing from the Outlaw
dubious
is that it is that.
Yeah, so apparently the hammer, their pistol shoots 120s, which is a good number for HVZ.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that it's coming in. The Outlaw hits more than that, doesn't it? Pretty
About
sure.
130.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that it's coming in lower because it doesn't have the metal hammer. So again, yeah, they're probably going to make it less expensive, but it's also doesn't have any metal parts, or at least doesn't have the metal. So how long will it last? Especially when we try making it hit harder, as is our want.
I'm gonna guess. You know what? Then based on that, you're right with all the plastic, because the X Shot. What's the other the top prime pistol that already exists? What is that? The Fury, or what that one's called?
Something like yeah.
That one's like $15. So this thing has got to be in. There's no way it's over 20.
Yeah, I mean it's probably $10-15, which is awesome because the Outlaw was what,
about 30, 25 to 30. No, it's about 30 to 35 now. That's right. Yeah. Sometimes when on clearance you get it for 25. Yeah. That's about $35. Yep.
Dirt Zone. No.
But back to the Thrasher. And again,
it's usually 30.
Pretty good. Yeah. But back to the Thrasher, the lines on that from the picture, like for me, like obviously for the hobby, looks are one thing, but at the same time, we're gonna know when they come out to actually see what kind of battery it gets, performance, does it shoot straight, like all the things. But
all the questions.
Exactly. For me, if it's got the lines I'm thinking it has, man, painting those up, and especially for what I do in terms of when I sell at conventions and cosplayers, it'll fit right in there almost better than the Venom Pro from the aesthetics perspectives, and it'll be cheaper too. So if it's looking with the way I think of Lincoln, I'm gonna sell those hands over fist at conventions.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's definitely got that more cyberpunk, sci-fi,
yes,
grungy, futuristic look to it. It's gonna paint up gorgeously, especially because of all the detailing. That's what I like about the X Shot is they've got so much greeble that you can do a lot with that. What else do we got? Yeah, there's the Spin Shot.
In the chat, you got Mr. AJ. He said, I pray that the Spin Shot with this clear plunger tube won't crack. Well, is that what they used? Maybe it's a bunch of leftovers from the from the old long shots. And
they have come out with a long shot 2.0 kind of.
Yes, so that's perfect transition into that one. That one should be interesting, and I'm guessing that because they clearly pay attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So unless they are in complete denial, which I would expect Hasbro to do and Nerf, but I don't think X-Shot does, they must realize that their plunger tube on the original X-Shot was just crap. So I think this is them taking it and tweaking it for like, all right, let's make it shorter. Let's change this. Definitely change that. So I am looking forward to it. The interesting thing is it still going to be around the same price point? There's no way it went up because they probably made it shorter. Yeah, because that's
they changed the foregrip. They went from a vertical foregrip to an angled foregrip.
Yeah.
Still fire. I believe it still fires full and half darts. So keeping all of the features that we like.
Yeah. But that'll be, and again, if she's going to hit the same, at what, about 100 what is that, 150, 160 out of the box that the long shot hit?
At least, and yeah, with $20 in parts, you could get it up to 260.
So, and it's even shorter. So you now save probably good like 6-7 inches. It is your discount comp blaster.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what the original X-Shot long shot was. It was the cheapest comp level blaster probably available, um, and that's just neat. Um, it's cool to see what they're doing on the competitive side. And that's mostly what we're looking at. I'm sure there's Adventure Force and standard X-Shot blasters that we're not even clocking because we can't be bothered. Um,
Well, we have the main ones we have focus, and then those we will get to them.
we know what we're about. Um, but the big
And
one,
yeah, that's right. It comes with a scar.
yeah, the big shift, the most surprising ones to me was Nerf's reveal
Yes.
at Toy Fair with the Rebel Ops line. Uh,
Yes.
because one, they're not N1. It looks like they may have actually already abandoned N1 because it was so abysmal, or that's what we're hoping. Maybe they're just teasing us. But everything I've seen from Hasbro coming out this year seems to be Elite Darts again. So the Rebel Ops line is Elite Darts. They had some X-Men theme blaster that's
The Wolverine
Elite.
one.
Everything
Yep.
I've seen so far has been Elite. I haven't seen anything N1. And maybe that's just because, again, it's not showing up in our spheres because we don't care. Um, but I would love it if it's gone, if they listened to how much we despised it, saw how poorly it performed on account of it's not compatible with anything, even their own stuff. Still absolute madness.
I wonder if
But I
that's also
actually
just their
really
own.
like the look of. I really like two of the three Rebel Ops blasters. So I really like the pistol, the Mohawk, I think it's called. Um,
Yep.
because those dart holders as shields, that's actually functional. Because a lot of clubs, blaster tags don't count. And so having a shield built into your blaster is actually useful. So it's just it's also a neat way of doing it. It's a neat gimmick. I dig it. I like how modular it is. You can put them on the side, on the top, flip them sideways, make them straight. Um, Great modularity for the attachments. It's a neat attachment. The pump action revolver, I'm a little more meh about. I like that it's pump action rather than top prime because
Yes.
top prime is bleh. It looks like they've brought back um, uh, end strike attachment points. So it's got the stock and the barrel attachment. The barrel could also be a scope. The stock has dart shield holders built into it as well. Again, neat attachments that we haven't seen, and I like that. Pump action revolver, performance wise, meh. But the shotgun,
Actually,
the
great.
big
Well,
old
before
one,
you get the shotgun, the pump revolver, think about it like you know it for a loner, it's fantastic. For events and
yeah,
everything else, no mags, it's easy. Kids can use it. You just keep dumping darts in it. And even for like low end, low scale for fun where you don't have that much performance, it's easy to use.
yeah. This is very true. And again, I like pump action over top prime. It makes it a little bit longer. I would have preferred magazine, like basically a new Alpha Trooper would have been better in my opinion. But
Yes.
we'll take what we can get. But then we
Because
have
it's
the
a
Doom
huge
Cannon.
improvement.
The Doom
There it
Cannon
is.
is so cool. It's everything that the Judge should have been. Uh, it's swappable cylinders, 3-shot burst. Comes with 5 cylinders. I think it's 4 per. Is it 4 or 5 per
Shells?
cylinder? I think it's 4
Riverstone?
4 shots per cylinder. So
Is
yeah,
it three?
12.
Is it
Yeah,
six? Is
12,
it double
12 rounds
stun?
per cylinder,
That's
5
it.
cylinders,
Yeah.
60 rounds. That maths.
Yeah.
Um, I like the form factor of it, the fact that it's shoulder mounted, but also looks like you could shoulder it normally. Pump action, I dig it. The break open for swapping the shells means that we will easily be able to design 3D printable shells um, that can cut down half dart or cut down mega XL. It also would probably be relatively simple to alter the front end to be able to take longer cylinders, which would then
Yep.
allow us to fire full length mega XL, um, multiple half dart. You can make it fire 6 half darts potentially. It probably has a geared prime. It probably has a fairly beefy prime. You're looking at rival levels of plunger volume, mega levels of plunger volume. So that's something that we'll probably be able to take a heavier spring. I definitely will be checking it for K26 just because finally a Nerf blaster worth checking again. It's been so long.
It has been.
I like it. I hope they continue on this line. I hope whoever talked them into N1 and all the stuff they've done the last couple of years got the can, and they brought back people that know how to make blasters that are worth having.
It is. It's like I get it that you were the company that dictated all of this. So the assumption that you can continue to change it and dictate something new is just, it's like you're not that infallible.
It goes to your head. It
makes no sense. Yeah.
And
like you have everyone else taking advantage of you, like taking advantage of the things you created. Dart Zone, they have End Strike on all stock attachments to so many of their blasters because it's there and it exists. And instead of trying to like blaze a new way and force you to spend it, it's like, what does everybody have? If everybody has it already, they're going to get our stuff and they're going to intermingle it into it. You know what I mean? It just makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think they got way too used to being Nerf or nothing. And then people came along that were using their darts, their magazines, their attachments, and they were losing market share, and they didn't like it, and they unfortunately compensated in the worst possible direction of making themselves the third-party company. They became the off-brand because their stuff didn't work with anybody else's stuff, and it was just weird. But, you know, that's the way bean counters and boardrooms think. In one cylinder. You know what? I have no doubt that Radioactive will make every imaginable cylinder under the sun for the Doom Cannon. I would love to see Radioactive develop an inline clip shell for it. So it fires 3 half darts at a time, but each chamber has 2 rows of 3. So you double the capacity and still be firing 3 at a time. That would be fabulous. What it really needs, obviously, are hyper shells.
I just got sidetracked. Yeah. No, wait. Since we're at the side, let's look at the chat. We got a lot of people very active.
We got people talking. Apparently, the Doom Cannon is going to be $45. That is, in fact, a steal. Nice. I was expecting it to be way more than that.
Like 70 or 80.
Yeah. Still getting elite performance. No surprise there. I mean, we're back down to 70 FPS. But again, to be able to fire 3 elite darts at 70 FPS, that's got to have a good plunger volume, which means we can almost certainly beef it up with a better spring and maybe better seals. Again, 3D printed cylinders. Somebody mentioned there are already people planning every imaginable cylinder for it. And I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, I'd like to see it be able to take full-length Mega XL because I don't like cutting down my Mega XL because we can't get more of them. And that would just require you to alter the front end that holds the shell in place so that it could take a longer cylinder, which you wouldn't be able to store them on the blaster, but I'm okay with that.
You could also do like a shell on the front that has the post for Mega XL as opposed to it's inserting in, so you don't have to change it, and you just keep manually flipping those out, potentially.
Yeah, depending on how, again, you'd still have to modify the front end because it's only got one section of barrel and then it rotates behind. So you'd either need to cut that out so it could take full-length darts sticking out, or make a whole new front end that is just designed to take a longer shell and then make longer shells.
Yeah. Packaging for the
packaging is abysmal. You know, you're not wrong. It's like it's wrapped rather than being in an actual box, which is fascinating.
If they're going to drop the ball on that one, great.
What?
Huh? Yeah, of all the things to drop the ball on, if it's packaging, perfect.
Yeah, I can live with that. Oh yeah,
Yes.
somebody else pointed out new melee, all kinds of new melee, new
Yes.
throwables, which look
the Christmas present.
awfully pointy to be throwables, but they must be really soft foam, I would hope.
Mm-hmm.
But also the daggers that turn into a double-ended dagger, and 3 different new katanas because of, I assume, One Piece. There's also the One Piece pistol, a hammer primed pistol that looks like a pirate ship, which that's weird. But I'll take it.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Back to also with darts, and we skipped over because we did. And again, we can always circle back to different blasters we've already mentioned. It's not like nope, that's it. Don't mention it
we
again.
talked about it. We're moving on. How
We're
dare
on,
you?
but I like the fact that also like Dart Zone has gone also into well, let's do this because it's fun, because they're gonna have suction tip darts.
Yeah. So Hasbro did have elite suction cup darts, suction cup darts that you could put into magazines. So that's already been a thing. I think Busby had them as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not surprised that they did that. It's suction cup darts, just the ability to, stick darts to things, TV screens and windows and people's foreheads. It's fun.
Also,
I don't know how well it'll work in like flywheel blasters.
probably not, but the advantage of those, well, especially for the Buccaneers and stuff like that, but like some of the old suction cup darts, they weren't very good darts to begin with. So trying to get them anywhere to get to stick, you'd have enough force to make it happen. And the fact that Dart Zone makes of the big ones makes pretty good darts. My hope is that the suction dart will actually be a pretty damn good dart, which means longer range, more things you can stick it to.
Yeah, and if it's Dart Zone, they're known for their darts. That's kind of their thing. It's there in the name and everything.
I know. How weird.
Speaking of their new stuff, I did finally review their triple barrel solo kit.
Oh yeah, and
I was slightly underwhelmed. It's real picky about darts. So
is it
if you
really
put absolutely fresh darts in, it worked well.
okay?
But if any of the darts were even a little bit worn, it lost all of its power.
Really?
Yeah, because
unlike the solo, which kind of you stick anything in it, it'll shoot it.
Yeah, and that's because it's one long barrel. You load it from the back. It's going to be fine. This one, the barrel fit could be a little bit better, but they're also really short barrels because you can't rear load it like you can a regular solo, because it's 3 barrels that taper to a single barrel that then actually is what interfaces with the plunger tube seal.
This little toy thing, and it just looks like a rectangle, so I should be fine. But yeah.
Yeah. But if you look at show the where it actually connects to the back end, yeah. So you can't barrel load that because it's going to hit the barrels.
Yes.
So you've got really short barrel. If you don't have a really good fit, it probably would work better with non-bamboo darts.
Oh, as I load bamboo darts into it.
Yeah, but when I took it to the range, I took the fresh darts that came with it and then a handful of the same darts but used. And the used ones were getting just abysmal performance and made it look bad. But then when I did load it up with 3 fresh darts, it worked just fine. It kind of suffered from the fact that I was comparing it to one of my old mods.
Because
back in the early days, I had an obsession with shotgun pistols. I wanted a really good, compact shotgun pistol that could fire at least 3 darts, at least 30 feet. And I finally built one, and then I forgot about it. And I pulled it out to do a comparison because I couldn't find my Proud Papa that has the triple barrel attachment. I've got a solo that can take Proud Papa attachments. At least I'm pretty sure I do. I know somebody gave me it. I think I finally installed it.
Interesting.
But I don't know where I put it.
It's probably somewhere. Yeah, no kidding.
It's now that I think about it, it's probably in the bin with the Proud Papa attachments.
Could be.
I didn't check there. That should have been the first place to check. But what I compared it to was an old Busby Baron that I had grafted a sledge fire shell on, and then had doubled the spring. And I hadn't expected that pistol to still work well, and it significantly outperformed the triple solo. Even firing full-length darts, it was firing them better than the triple solo was firing half darts. So, one, it was nice to know that some of my mods were actually worthwhile and have survived the test of time. But it's, getting sledge-fire shells nowadays is next to impossible, and getting a Baron is even harder. So it's not like, don't get the solo, build my mod. Blasters.
Go find the impossible thing. Get. Yeah.
Do it. What do we got going on in chat?
Well, last thing on the Dart Zone thing with this, at least I love the fact that it's something different. It's build your own. It's still the same platform. We're on now version 4 of this.
Yeah, so we've got progression, which is nice. 4 different colors of that shell now. The original blue, purple, white, and red now, at least.
And never mind the cricket, which is essentially this, just in a different body.
Yeah. So I mean, it's still a great blaster, and the YOLO is still one of my favorite all-time blaster mods that anyone in the hobby has come up with. It's such a cool design to turn that tiny blaster into a magazine-fed blaster that gets good performance. It's just brilliant. Somebody is saying they would love to see Mega XL suction darts. I would love Mega XL suction darts. Sticking one of those to someone's forehead is plonk. That would be fabulous.
That would be good. I had no idea what that would fly like. Especially put it in the moose. But imagine if you fly.
Exactly. The aerodynamics would probably be atrocious, but
if you could actually shoot it at the moose, hilarious. Oh my god! If they do that and it actually shoots at the moose, you could actually get, and then at your 100 feet, if with the moose in the range, we could actually hit the 100-foot marker with the suction darts.
Stick it. Oh, if you could hit that, be prepared to stop and stick. That would be cool.
There we go. We have goals. I like it.
Yeah, there's there are blasters that can take the silly shells, and since silly shells can fire up to 3, they make much better, but they're not as compact.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the downside. But they do take shells, which is easier to reload than barrel loading.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I have a goblin. I have one of the small silly shell ones. Also the doubled one, which is fabulous. Plus.
Again, in the chat, man, let us know what you guys think about the new blasters that dropped, questions you had, or anything else in general.
Yes, unfortunately, Orange ModWorks is gone. Though I did an ARMS deal. I need to finish editing the video to upload for tomorrow for my trip to Arizona. On the way there, somebody pinged me. They were getting out of the hobby. They'd gotten into cars. They didn't have money and time for Nerf anymore, and they wanted to offload their collection. They just wanted to get rid of it. And at first, I get emails like that from time to time, but it's often people like in Texas wanting to know if I know someone they can give. They're like, I don't know anyone in Texas, man. But this person was on my way back from the airport.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, I will be passing through on Monday. I can pick it up. So I ended up with 4 contractor bags full of Nerf.
Oh my, dude.
And most of it decent stuff. There was Rebel, or there was Rival, there was Mega, there was Strifes. There was an inordinate number of old modded long shots, like old school modded long shots. Like Brass Breach kits, hardware store part kits, and Orange ModWorks kits. Old Orange ModWorks kits. And then there was a box of ammo, and in the box of ammo is an Orange ModWorks long shot kit sealed in box.
No way.
And a whole bunch of additional Orange ModWorks parts. You're like, that's some old school cool. You don't see much Orange ModWorks anymore. They had so much good stuff back in the day. They were kind of
they were the prime shop.
They were for the longest time. I mean, the only real kits that existed before Worker got in on the game was Orange ModWorks.
Yes, they were.
They had cool stuff. Their hammer shot cylinders are still my favorite. I got super lucky. I was at the Ragnar Oktoberfest where they were literally giving away kits. Just here, have an Orange Modworks kit, and I got 2 of the orange cylinders, which are still my HVZ hammer shots to this day, like 7 years later, 8 years later.
Well,
and I've gotten 2 of the silver ones I managed to pick up.
They also had the metal hammer prime for the hammer shots.
Yeah. That kit came with a metal cylinder and metal hammer.
There we go.
Yeah, Worker is still cool. Worker makes some of the best blasters in our hobby, honestly. You pay for it because those injection mold, the Harrier, the Seagull, the Swift, those aren't cheap blasters, but they are absolutely worth it. It is gorgeous. Nightingales and the Kunlun and all that stuff.
Oh my God, yeah. Now, I'm not sure about release dates in terms of, now we see it at a toy fair, but in terms of where
that's actually a really good question. I'm wondering, because I hadn't seen prices, but someone said the Doom Cannon was going to be $45. I don't know if when they will be available, but I want to get one. I'm actually hoping, I'm going up to the Seattle area this weekend to run amok. And I'm hoping to hit a Bass Pro Shop and find a Adventure Force Primus in the wild. Because apparently the only store that carries them is Bass Pro Shop.
But of course.
And apparently they're on clearance. So I'm hoping I can grab one on my way north. Because I really want one. Because it's a Bren gun. It's a top mag fed. And it's just, I want one. And I don't have one.
Yeah. You need one. I'm painting my Primus. I got to finish it. It's black and yellow, obviously, but it'll get done.
Yeah, I've actually found Orange Modworks kits in blasters at Goodwill also. Every once in a while, It's like, what on earth? A couple of my prized possessions, as it were. I have a fully Orange Modworks OG Alpha Trooper with their reverse plunger kit. So it looks completely stock, but will hit like I think 100 FPS. So a fabulous HVZ primary. I then have the barricade stock on it and the yellow pinpoint sight. So I have the whole yellow package of an actual functional original Alpha Trooper. And then I also have one of the Crimson Recons with the metal Orange Modworks kit.
Of course you do.
Heavy. It's cast iron. It's dense.
Yeah.
It's very much suitable to throw in an angry dog.
Just to address a question about a couple times when Daryl Hall asking about organizing events and having a final championship. Yeah, that idea has been floated, but it's not easy. It's getting smaller groups to actually have smaller tournaments. It's many things, and that won't be the focus of today's chat. Actually, if you tune in and look for when we have Foam Nation or Casual Felon on, we'll be discussing actually comp tournaments, where competition is and where it can be. So that might be our next episode or episode after, depending on his schedule. And when we get to that episode, we will be talking about tournaments, about professional level, the arc, what is necessary and what's expected. So if you're looking for that show, like today is going to be more toy fair. This, though, it's not like an easy question or answer, and there's been a lot of discussions about it. So look for when we have Foam Nation / Casual Felon on. If you don't know who he is, if you guys watched the Ragnar Oktoberfest stream from the tournament last year, he was the guy on camera that called the game. So when we have him on, we'll be discussing thoroughly in terms of competition, tournaments, and where we'd love to see it to go, where it could go, and all those things. Anyways, yeah, we saw you, dude. It's just, we love to talk about all these things, just not today. Today's going to be the new stuff.
Andy Work is jumping the gun. Being from down under, he's already in tomorrow, which is my birthday. So
happy
here
birthday,
in the
Captain
States,
Xavier.
it's not quite my birthday yet, but it will be soon. That's what I'm going up this weekend to run amok. It'll be me and Sergeant Deplorable and Crewman Rocket running amok, doing thrift stuff and looking for Lego and eating cheesecake. The usual palaver that I do for my birthday. But yeah, so getting comp to a larger level is something we've been working on for a long time. Currently, we pretty much only see the events at the big invitationals. So Maryland Mayhem does a tournament. End War does a tournament. RAG does a tournament. I don't. Survival Fest doesn't. I don't think.
No. Atlanta does a couple of smaller ones.
Yeah, and there was the big Dart Zone tournament that didn't quite take off like we had hoped, but it and Nerf dipped a toe into it with Nerf ball, and then didn't go anywhere with it. And it's largely just slowly but surely getting it going. It's been growing and growing and growing. Comp is becoming more and more popular. A big part of it is that it's now so easy to get comp level blasters. It used to be, it cost a lot of money to get a 200 FPS blaster. Now it's $35 at Walmart. It's ridiculous. That I think is going to go a long way into opening that up. But the biggest thing is organizing and venues. Venues are always the big issue. Comp requires a fairly large and standardized field. And that, unless somebody owns property that fits that description, you're going to have to rent a place. And now you're looking at entry fees and you're looking at money, and that always hinders things. There also, as I've pointed out many a time before, there is no central authority in our hobby of any kind. There's no central organization. There's no committee. There's no anything like that, which is both good and bad. It allows us to be very independent and do our own thing in our own ways, in our own regions, our own styles. But it makes organizing something like a multinational or national level tournament a little bit more difficult, because not everybody's playing comp the same way. It's not like baseball or football or soccer or hockey or basketball where the rules are the same everywhere. And there are facilities available everywhere. Every playground has a basketball court. Every town has a baseball diamond. Trying to get Nerf comp to something like that level, like, amateur baseball, peewee sports, it is something we're wanting to work on. But it's slowly growing, and it's getting there.
We might be the closest thing to a centralized thing, and that is very loosely.
Yeah.
As a committee, that is very loosely.
And that's not something that the World Foam Alliance has any desire to become. We don't want to rule the Nerf hobby.
No.
We just want to be the connection point. The place where people can go to find the hobby.
Yes. Our department is growth.
Yeah, we're not wanting to dictate how games are played or anything like that. We do want to facilitate games eventually. We want to sponsor games eventually. But mostly the goal is to help people find this part of the hobby, because the big companies aren't doing much to advertise the fact that these events exist. Building Nerf clubs in small towns and things like that. That's not something that they talk about. That, find a club near you, because one, there is no central place to send them to. Go to this website and find the club near you. The closest thing I think we have, Dart Sweep IO had a map, and I believe Dart Zone or Out of Darts currently has a club map, an event map. But Dart Sweep IO would be neutral. Dart Zone or Out of Darts obviously isn't entirely a neutral party, because they make money off of the hobby. whereas the World Foam Alliance doesn't. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. A lot of it is getting better at finding venues. It's always going to be venue. Venue is always going to be the biggest hurdle to starting a club, getting an event going. Where are you going to hold the event? Where's big enough? Where's cheap enough? Where's where's got enough parking? All of that. All right, what do we got going on?
No, I wanted to circle back to, obviously, with everything that's come out of Toy Fair. Well, obviously we know from last year. There we go. The fact that X-Shot dropped the AEB, the PVP, the motorized piston pump, and so the expectation is, because they're the first one to break that seal, because they were able to do it for less than $100, and word has it in the hobby, other major manufacturers didn't want to try to breach it because they couldn't figure out how to make it cheap enough. Yet X-Shot did, and the fact that, well, let's face it, each company gets each other's toys, looks at it, breaks it apart, and sees what they can do. Yep. Whether it's official or unofficial, everybody does it. So they have it. So that means that I think general product development does take a couple of years. So typically, even though we weren't going to see it this year.
That's the thing, is the R&D cycle for this hobby is longer than most people think.
Yeah. So with that, it'll be, that someone, at least most likely Dart Zone, because they seem to be the two that are kind of neck and neck in terms of what they do from their aspect of the hobby, to see when if they come out with an AEB. I'm assuming they will be. But then also, has Nerf changed its tune? Like, we're saying this before we've actually got a hold of and played with them, but so far so good in terms of kind of like a cultural reset in terms of what they're doing. And with that, are they gonna try the pro level like they did before? Just because obviously, again, two other companies are continually eating at your market share by doing this. And how long are you going to let them do that before you've lost your dominance? So someone's got to be sitting there going, we should do this. And finally, looks like they've listened to some kind of reasonability, or someone looked at the numbers and said, we keep on losing money because we make stupid ideas. So, you know what I mean? Either of these are great arguments, but it'd be interesting to see if they come out with an AEB.
Yeah, because to me, the Rebel Ops line feels like N Strike Elite.
Yes.
Level of quality, of playability, of just the right amount of gimmick to be fun, but not enough to detract from usability. These feel like blasters you could actually use and have fun with. They're not like the Judge was just so impractical. It was bizarre, and a lot of what they did with gimmicky stuff, they went too far with the gimmick, and it detracted from any actual functionality. But so far, I like the look of them. I like them. Yeah. They're like, it's the first time in a long time I'm like, I am buying the Doom Cannon the day I can get my hands on it, and I haven't felt that way about a Hasbro product in a long time.
Is the Hammer Shot? Which would be a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time. What is best for HVZ, Dart Zone, or Nerf? Well, it depends on the Nerf. Like, if you can get yourself an Elite Alpha Trooper or a Strife, those are still absolutely solid HVZ blasters. And that's never going to change, because pump action magazine fed, semi-automatic magazine fed, that's what you'll want. And they're both solid, they're both reliable, they take standard ammunition, the magazines are readily available, the blasters are a little harder to find these days. So that's still solid. More recently, Dart Zone, because Hasbro has not come out with a good semi-automatic magazine fed, or a semi-automatic, or a pump fed magazine fed blaster in a while. Whereas Dart Zone, pretty much everything they've come out with in the last couple of years, as long as you could get them low enough, because that's the problem with most of the Dart Zone blasters, they hit too hot for HVZ. You have to mod them to be less powerful. But a lot of the Dart Zone Adventure Force stuff was right at that 100 FPS, 110 FPS. Things like the Magnum Super Drum and the Spectrum and whatever their more recent Striphoid was. The Thunderbolt? I think it was a Thunderbolt. But those are good
discontinued. They don't stop making them
because they're Striphoids. So again, the Strife is still the better option in my opinion.
Although now the new Axis that Dart Zone just dropped, 40 rounds, adjustable FPS.
Yeah, again, you know.
The Boxer Pro is not a new blaster. It's been around since about last year. It's great.
What about somebody? Ask the question again because it probably just got lost in the stream. Ammo is up to you. So my loadout, I have half darts, full length darts, and rival on my primary HVZ loadout. Nexus Pro hits way too hot for HVZ. You might be able to get it down low enough, but that would be tough because most HVZs cap at either 120 or 130 FPS. And things like the Nexus Pro X out of the box, it hits 200. So cutting its FPS in half is tricky. Striphoid, anything, a semi-automatic flywheeler is a Striphoid because the Strife was the first one. The first real meaningful blaster that was semi-automatic and took a magazine, flywheel blaster that took a magazine and was semi-automatic was the Strife. So everything that's come after the Strife, that semi-automatic magazine fed, is a Striphoid. So the Demolisher, the Modulus, the list is endless, and things like the Thunderbolt and the Spectrum. Functionally, they're Strifes, so they're Striphoid.
Mr. AJ, in terms of what he talked about, the throwables, Mega XL, but that kind of rages something else where it's like, if by the Rebel Ops, do they now revert back and now give us something cool in either even in Mega, but never mind if they resurrect the Mega XL. Hope.
I would love to see more Mega. I would love to see more Mega XL. I'd love to see more Rival. Those lines were all solid. They all were well built. They all worked well. They were great for modding because of the size of their plunger tubes. The Strife is an incredibly reliable primary. It is probably the most reliable of primaries.
It is.
I'm still hoping to see more lever action come out at some point. I'd love to see Worker make a lever action. They made bolt action, so I'd love to see a lever action with a metal lever and a really reliable feed gate. Though I would be happy with either a magazine fed or a tube fed. Magazine fed is going to be simpler and therefore more reliable. Tube fed, where you got to have the whole elevator system, that leads to jams. There's just no way about it because it's foam. It's not brass sealed. You could make them shell ejecting like the Shellington. That doesn't seem
the Shellington.
Right.
No, it is a Shellington.
Though apparently Mr. Heathpants does have, or Heath Heel, they have a lever action tube fed shellless blaster coming out. Out of Darts is going to have it soon. I am really looking forward to it. I may have to print it myself this time, though.
Yes,
they're pushing hardware kits rather than fully printed blasters anymore. Okay, we're losing chat. What do we got? Rival Master Key.
The Vulture, I've seen that. The Vulture, I'm curious about. I think I might get myself one of those.
The Vulture.
Yeah, the Vulture. That one looks pretty cool.
It does.
All right, the one about the Adventure Force Boxer Pro. It looks like a major potential for heavy loadouts, stationary turrets, like cabs. It's like a Vulcan, but so much better. It's a great blaster.
It's a great belt-fed half dart. It's something we've been wanting for a while. Was a belt-fed half dart blaster. Nobody had made one, and then the Boxer did. And you can they sold the belt separately, so you could get a ridiculously long belt. It was powerful out of the box. Yeah, mine's still in its box. That was another one. You're like, I want that day one. But it wasn't Hasbro.
Now, also, can I just make one thing clear? Like, I loved all the questions, and we love talking and interacting and stuff like that. But also understand, we can't answer all the questions, and it's not because we're ignoring you or whatever else like that. We're also trying to stay on message and point here. And this is not just answer all my questions. Yeah, no, that's not how we do it.
Let's see what we got.
But we love them, and we'll answer as best as we can. So patience, please.
See, your boxer is super cool. Love it. Is Dart Zone still doing Rival?
Yes, because they released that one, the shotgun one last year with just a different color.
Yeah, they did re-release it in a different color. There was talk of them just producing the ammo as well, though I don't know if that's going anywhere.
Yep. But at the same time, if they still have it, that means they haven't closed the door.
The Kieran, probably, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're still obviously they're still capable of making the ammo if they're still making it for the blaster that they're selling. So,
absolutely. All right, then the other thing is back if X-Shot is let's go this way. Assuming X-Shot is just all right, whatever you do, we're going to make it better. If that's their model, which is not a bad thing because it makes it interesting for us and we get to benefit from it. So then, which came first? Is the Boxer Pro a direct result of the Rage Fire, or are they not congruent where like everyone's just making belt feds? And now, as a result of Dart Zone actually making a very worthy belt fed, does X-Shot now create a short dart version of the Rage Fire otherwise? Because again, X-Shot was making the minigun versions, but none of them were over 100 FPS.
Yeah. Well, X-Shot definitely seems to be leaning into the pro side and doing good stuff. Yeah, a lot of it's just copying stuff. But then everything Dart Zone's made has been copied of stuff that we made in the hobby. Yes. And that's not a problem.
It's all cyclical,
we did their R&D for them. It would have been foolish to not go, to ignore all of the R&D that already existed. To ignore, everything we learned from the Caliburn, that we learned from the Lynx, that we learned from all of the stuff that we've been doing constant development for the last 8 years. Yeah. To ignore that would just be stupid.
Yes.
And it works.
So that would be nice if they did something like that. And again, the other thing is Toy Fair, obviously everyone comes out with the majority of the new stuff, but the best thing is that the year's only begun. There will be more new stuff as it leaks out. When and where, I don't know, but it's still exciting stuff. And then back to the lever action. I think the lever action is falling under the same challenges as what the AEB was. Someone coming up with a functional one, unlike the Sling Fire, which great, but oh my God, problems with it. So coming up with that system where it's affordable and functional. And again, it's going to be who the race to who drops it first. And if it's successful, then the race for everyone else to copy it and say, well, here we go.
Somebody pointed out a belt-fed AEB. Well, I mean, the Vulcan, the first belt-fed motorized belt-fed blaster was an AEB. So it wouldn't even be a new concept. It would just be, again, rehashing old ones. But then, like, the piston pump is an AEB, and AEBs go back to the Stampede, the Vulcan, and the early Dart Zone blaster. Dart Tag blasters. The Dart Tag blasters. Which, it's a neat concept. It's a complicated concept. Which is why they kind of fell off to flywheelers for so long. But then, as you said, X-Shot figured out how to make one that works really well and was cheap. It's just a clone of the BK1S, but somehow they managed to get the price point down to $80 and not have it feel cheap. That's the thing, is like the X-Shot long shot feels like it's going to shatter if you prime it too hard. Whereas the piston pump, is an absolutely solid feeling. But then it has to be for an AEB. It's got to be able to hold up to the stress.
Yes. And still pull it off for $79.99. And everyone's having sales, I feel, constantly at $60.
Yeah, it's baffling.
So it's like, how?
I did read your comment on the 111, and it's a suggestion people have made before. Figuring out some way to make an easier way to pick up the darts on my range. I have a whole TikTok about it where people have recommended putting down netting. The problem is my range is over 800 square feet. That's a lot of netting to have to put down and pick up every time I want to use my range. And ultimately, it's just easier to just go pick up the darts. People have recommended putting metal in the darts so you can pick them up with a magnet. They've considered, vacuum. All of those are neat concepts that take more effort than just picking up the darts.
Yes.
If there was a better way to do it, we'd have done it by now. But even in big arenas, where if they really wanted to, they could come up with some kind of a vacuum system. It's easier to just pick up the darts.
Yep.
Well, yeah, it's 8 feet wide, 100 feet long. So it's that's just the narrow section of the range. So that's 800 square feet. It doesn't look that big in the videos. The other comment that I get all the time on any of my range videos, especially on TikTok, is that it looks like my range is a green screen. And I'm convinced that's because of the netting making the world look slightly pixelated.
Yeah.
Because there's the lower netting, that scaffolding netting that's dense. And then above that, there's another 8 feet of garden netting that you can't really see, but it still makes the world look pixelated.
Yes. We have one Andrew, aka Dart Sweep.
The foam cone. See, like if I fire ridiculous amounts of rival on the range, like if I do a tank dump from a proton pack, then I bust out the garden weasel. Because picking up rival is easy with a tool.
Yes.
And I should get myself one of those dart combs because I've heard they actually work really well.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, Dart Sweep has asked, in the chat, what is your favorite blaster from Toy Fair? I'm honestly most excited about the Doom Cannon. And I'm happy about that.
Even giddy. I'd say a little giddy about it.
A little bit. Not just because it's something good from Hasbro, but because it would be good no matter who made it. It's just a cool looking, fun looking blaster, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
Yes. The Thrasher is cool looking, but it's a Nightingale reshell. The Spin Shot is nifty looking, but it's an Outlaw reshell.
Yep.
The Dual Magwell SMG is cool, but it's a Dual Magwell. Actually, that one's a little bit more cool because one dual mags and the adjustable and select fire. You're like, okay, that's a new one.
I love that AJ will not continues to ride Andrew with his obsession trying to find 50-round Titan mag drums. By the way, if you own a 50-round Titan drum mag, go see Dart Sweep. So he stops bugging me for mine.
That would actually be a really good line because Zombie Strike was kind of Monster Hunter-y, but somebody recommended if they made a Monster Hunter series, so weapons that are vampire themed, zombie themed, werewolf themed, a melee wooden stake, a silver sword.
But also save on licensing fees.
Yeah.
and readily available content. Everyone always loves it. Doesn't matter how many times it's done. So yeah, absolutely.
Ultra Pro, Pro Ultra Select. Yeah, pretty much. Was the Select? The Select was just semi-auto, wasn't it, or was it Select Fire?
Yes.
When it first got leaked and the name was Select, we're like, they're making a Select Fire Ultra Blaster, and I looked and went, nah, it's going to be dual magwell, and you can swap the mag side to side. You just wait. And I was right, and I was vindicated.
Stop the persecution and the accusations. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Monster Hunter series. I would dig that. I like the Rebel Ops. It's basically very cyberpunky,
Yep.
and you can't go wrong with cyberpunk themed blasters. Cause that's the other nice thing about this line is it's very toy looking, but sci-fi toy looking. There's nothing real steel looking about it, and that's one of the potential downsides of like the worker blasters and even some of the Dart Zone blasters. They still have a fairly realistic profile.
Yeah.
Which if you paint them is a problem. Luckily, they tend to make them in bright colors now, purple and pink and green, and I dig that. Primus with a Titan drum. I will be doing that for the sheer absurdity of it.
That's exactly what Andrew ran at Mayhem at Maryland events.
Yeah. The sergeant major of the crew, he always wanted a Nerf Bren gun, and I kept meaning to get around to building a Strife into one, just cutting out the top of it and putting on a Raider Magwell. Never got around to it. Now I don't have to. I can just go to Bass Pro Shop on my way up this weekend and pick one up for $30 or whatever it is.
30, 40, something like that.
Yeah, it's on. I was going to buy it direct from Dart Zone when it first came out. That and the pirate pistols, because they had a red and a blue set, but the shipping was more than the blasters. And you're like, no, I don't think I will.
They're making adjustments to that.
Yeah.
What was it? Where was I going to go with it? Oh man, the red, the blue, the prime, or whatever. I can't remember. In one ear, out the other, just like that. Yeah, I'll come back around, and I might remember what it is. I don't know. Things.
Oh, they pointed out, yeah, in a Monster Hunter, you could throw in a crossbow. Can never go wrong with a good crossbow blaster. They're always a fun gimmick.
What was the big zombie strike crossbow one?
The Doom.
Doom Slayer?
I swear it had Doom in the name.
Not the Doom Hammer.
Somebody's gonna get to it. Yeah, somebody will remember
somebody will. Whatever it was, and I knew it too.
The Dreadbolt.
That's it.
Dreadbolt. Yeah.
Dreadbolt. I need an arrow or two because I still have mine painted, and I don't have any arrows left. Or I don't know where I put them.
Saw the writing on the wall. When Toys R Us went out of business, I had one that was a 5-minute drive from my house, and I went and I bought all the ammo at clearance price of those arrows.
Good. Next time I see you, bring me a couple.
I'll mail you some of the Rebel ones. You can have the
just to make it functional. I can paint them. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Because I found one that I almost finished painting it as I'm trying to sweep through my basement, and I'm like, damn it, I don't have any arrows for this, and I got to finish it too. So, all the things.
Somebody had an issue. I think they were having trouble getting the prod off the bow part. I remember sending him a quick video of how to do it with 2 screwdrivers.
Oh, I have to check that.
Yeah. There's just 2 slots in the front. You put 2 screwdrivers in and squeeze, and the whole front will just pop off.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Ready? Everyone say Dreadbolt.
Yeah,
Dreadbolt. See, again, cool names. They see the Dreadbolt. Come on. That's a great name.
Yeah, that I can understand that. Andy Work says shipping is why he doesn't do
Oh
commissions for
my.
people that live far away because he's in the most remote city in the world.
He really is. It's like, come on, man. And Anthony out in Nova Scotia, trying New Brunswick, thinks that he's far, and he is far. Never mind, halfway around and at the bottom of the world.
Yeah, the blaster that I'll be picking up at Bass Pro Shop is the Primus. For some bizarre reason, that's the only place that sells it, other than direct from Dart Zone.
Marketing, licensing. They agree to sell a lot of them, and one thing he's like, all right, we'll do it.
There's 2 Bass Pro Shops on my way north, so hopefully one of them will have it. According to the internet, they both have them in stock. So, but we'll see if that's still the case by either Friday or Saturday, depending on when I decide to go north.
Truth.
I miss the old zombie blasters that looked like they were made out of random parts.
They were, the first round was the best one. Later on, like when the scavenger, it went too much.
Yeah.
The second version of the lever action, it was like, the first round was much better.
Yeah.
Second one was okay, but I felt like they just went too far, except for the one that looked like the nail gun, the nail biter.
Yeah. Nail biter was a neat line.
Yeah.
They've done some neat stuff with the zombie strike line. It was just always slightly baffling to me that most of them weren't actually good HVZ blasters.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man? Other than the hammer for the hammer shot. The Slingfire wasn't bad, but
yeah,
a lot of the gimmicky ones are like a 4-barrel smart AR blaster is not a good HVZ blaster. You're gonna die.
yeah. Well,
We need things that are magazine fed. We need pump action. We need semi-automatic. We need reliable, high rates, high capacity.
We need the stuff, man. We need the stuff.
Well, Borderlands would be another one that would be really cool to see, just for the cell shading look of it all. And there's so many wild blasters in there.
Yep.
It's kind of odd that, they did like Fortnite and they did Destiny and they did Overwatch. Yep. But why not do Borderlands? Maybe they couldn't afford the light, but isn't the same company own some of those other ones?
Could be, but then who knows, man?
The Rev Reaper. The Rev Reaper was a fabulous concept. Again, not new. There was a manual flywheel blaster from the early 2000s.
All right, wait a minute. General Slife says they made a Borderlands blaster. Who made one?
Oh, did they?
Which one?
Who's they?
Oh, Borderlands Gelfire.
Oh, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, I get it.
That's cheating.
Yeah. So we're in February. Show goals. I've put it upon myself to see if we can make it happen, and I'm pretty sure we can make it happen. But part of this is just a side note. This year, I hope to actually have representatives from different companies on the show with us so we can talk shop. Now, who's first, who's next? Don't ask. It's a concept. We're reaching out, but I have great feelings about it. And when we know for sure, then you'll know for sure. But to give you an idea in terms of direction we're going, the things we want to do. So yeah, this year my hope is to have at least 2, and I think I can swing 2 representatives from like some of the bigger companies show up, and we can talk some shop.
Could also get. Have we had Luke from Out of Darts?
No, not yet. He's always busy.
We've had the other Luke from Out of Darts.
We've had everybody from Out of Darts except Luke. So yeah, that'll be so. Captain Xavier is going to promise us that he will get Luke from Out of Darts on the show this year.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
I know
He's a
where
busy
he lives.
man. There we go.
I'll just show up at his door. You're on the show. Sit down and talk. What we got going on?
Oh, that's right. Also, Andy Wick points out that they did do the Star Trek blasters, but that was more the Hasbro Pulse line as opposed to the General, wasn't it?
Yeah, they did the Star Trek line. They did Aliens. They did the Pulse rifle for Aliens, and I think like the Destiny ones were all in that too. They were the weird one-off. We've had Joe, haven't we?
Oh yeah, we've had Joe.
I was gonna say.
Yes, we have.
I know where he lives. He's 15 minutes from me. He's got no excuses.
Yes, we have. Well, we'll probably have him again at some point as well.
No doubt.
Yes.
We need to get the man with the phone so we can do call-ins again. I mean, that was going to be the big gimmick on this whole series, and now we have no phone.
And it will be again.
We will get it back.
We will get it
when
back.
his kids graduate.
Yes. Oh, maybe sooner than that too. Oh, well, speaking of shows, what's been nice, and I missed it. So, plug in for the buddies in the community and people that we know. So obviously, well, first and foremost, Dartzone has their Dart Pulse that's going to do every month, which I think is a great program. And we had Flux on last time to talk about it. But then also you have one, Bill CR Nerf with Andy Griff, and they do like a Rad Dads. So again, older dudes, they're not as miserable or as grumpy as we are. They're kind of happy. So it's a different perspective than for me and you. But they do a show, and their whole show is just basically just answering it like back and forth in the chat. But then also they organize Zoom calls. So I think the last one, if I looked into it, I can't remember how many, because I know a couple people in the chat were on it. It was it about 14 or 15 people on like just a big Zoom call where they talked about Nerf. So keep an eye out for Andy Griff, although Andy Work is in the chat, and CR Nerf, Bill, and the Rad Dads when they do a thing. It's actually pretty cool and an interesting concept, and it's been fun. I try to participate more often, but I'm like, I'm going to be on that, and then I remember the day after. So we're going to work on that. Yeah. Which will be good. Oh, go ahead.
Just the more stuff like that we have, the more exposure for the hobby, the more people talking about it, the more, the better, because the hobby will be better when there's more people, because it's like another thing I bring up pretty much every show. Dart blasters are the second most popular toy after Lego. Everybody has Nerf blasters, but most people have no idea that clubs exist. That there's places they could go and play with other people with Nerf in person for free in a park somewhere, because we are lousy at advertising, and because the big companies don't talk about it. And again, I said that's largely because there isn't a central repository that they can point you towards. I mean, I would love it. I would love it if we got the World Foam Alliance to a point where they talk about it in commercials, where they talk about it on the box.
Yeah.
Go to the World Foam Alliance and find the club near you. Find a place to play near you at worldfoamalliance.org. Imagine if you saw that in, on a TV ad or, a YouTube ad or on the box of, here's where you go to find a club near you. That's the big goal. The long-term goal is for this to get big enough that it's has an impact and a positive impact and allows people to find more people to play with and make clubs bigger. And you'd think the big companies would be on it, because you buy someone one Nerf blaster and they have fun. You go to a Nerf war and they're going to come back with 20 Nerf blasters. Because you want all the toys when you actually get to use them.
Interesting enough, well, like you think about it, they've already bought into that concept, even though they don't advertise, don't realize that they have. Because right now, the current message or the predominant message has always been commercials or otherwise advertising in your backyard. Shoot your friends and family in your basement or in your house. Yet you've now developed blasters that are 150 to 200 FPS, which damn well you can't shoot in your basement or in your backyard and not end up in an emergency room potentially, especially with family and kids, because of the increased viability. So then, why are you not messaging if you're making these cool blasters, not just for us? Why aren't you messaging appropriately then also for your higher end blasters, the places that you can use them and not just your backyard or in your basement? Therefore, pushing the whole thing about organized league communities outside. You already have the product. Why are you not taking the message there? Because that's all it takes. And suddenly, like, you want to increase your sales, make the AEB, but how would you also tell people where to use it? And this idea where people want to be parts of groups. That's why I always think we're so close. And now, actually, that we've talked about it, as long as we meet my goal of getting people from these manufacturers onto our show, talking to them about messaging. And how is that? Tell me how this is not missed opportunity.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's kind of baffled me. You know, they did at some point. You know, they sent blasters to the influencers to do reviews on and things like Toy Fair and all of that. But yeah, and a lot of it I think is that we need more. And I don't know, maybe I'm just not looking in the right places, and I'm guilty of not creating it myself. We need more gameplay footage. We need more well shot, well edited gameplay footage. We need to show how cool it is that, you know, that these events happen and how cool they are. Professional flyers, professional advertising, you know, advertising is a multi-million or billion-dollar business. You know, we generally don't have the money to get YouTube ads or Netflix ads or, you know, Amazon ads or what or anything like that.
We need money just for the website first, man. Never mind everything else. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. We need ESPN level gameplay, and it's kind of we're not going to get that until we're an ESPN level sport, but we're never going to get to be an ESPN level sport until we have that kind of advertising. Round and round we go.
But if one of the major builders, let's say like Worker, let's say like Xshot, decide, wait, maybe this is missed marketing opportunity. They jump on that, and you ride the coattails, and away we go.
Yeah. And a lot of it is going to be, you know, getting the right ambassador from the hobby because they have picked the wrong one in the past and gotten burned. And I don't know who that would be. It certainly wouldn't be me.
No, it wouldn't be me either.
No, we're too old for that.
Yes, we're not young and pretty enough to be ambassadors.
They need a young face, and like they tried that with really big YouTubers and TikTokers, but they weren't Nerf YouTubers and TikTokers. They weren't people that actually play the game,
that understand it, and therefore can sell it.
Yeah, it's, you know, they were
selling the same idea. This is cool
selling
for your
the same
backyard
thing.
Basement.
Buy a blaster and have fun in your backyard by yourself. They weren't selling that Nerf is a community toy, that it is a group thing that you play with multiple people. Yeah, there we go. We'll get on the Ocho.
Woo! No, we're gonna be so big. They're gonna make our own ESPN channel, whatever you want to call 9. See, goals, man, goals.
Yeah, the problem with paintball is that they just stay in the back and dump entire buckets of paint at each other. It turned out to not be very interesting. And I don't know I think part of how we've avoided that in Nerf comp is you don't have infinite ammo like paintball basically does, where you just got pods and pods and pods and pods, and you just dump a new pod in and just we limit how much ammo you have, so you have to make it count and you have to move it. It's also, we play really short rounds, which forces you to be active. But yeah, right ambassador is key, and getting the right game mode.
Absolutely.
I like that it's both, again, a good thing and a bad thing. Every event that has comp plays it slightly differently. Rag's comp is not the exact same game as Maryland Mayhem's comp is not the same game as End Wars comp. And that's both keeps life interesting, but also, again, makes it harder to standardize and harder to build a sport around when there isn't a unified rule set.
Yeah.
And so there's the balance of, do we want a unified rule set? Do we want to keep our independence? How do we balance that? Because imagine if there were, like, every sports team played a different version of football depending on what stadium you were playing in.
That would make for a weird Super Bowl, man.
Yeah, like, exactly. How do you, and sometimes they are, like baseball, the stadiums are different, which can make a difference, I've heard, because the outfield is a different distance in some stadiums than in others. Football is standardized, basketball is standardized, but baseball, oddly enough, the arenas aren't.
Well, with baseball, because there's just a couple of like slight differences because the DH is the big thing, but like you could have slight differences for a world championship, but it's still got to be a little more. And again, the perspective of nope, it's got to be like this or it doesn't count. But at the same time, I think you can perform your own types of tournaments, but understand when it comes to the world championship or whatever, if you want to have like a centralized championship, then have it set up. So it's like, these are the rules we're going to follow, and this is the agreed gameplay. But again, this is something we're going to go heavy into soon. So
yeah, and that's
yeah.
Like I said, having it said, I like that it isn't.
Yeah.
I think we might be better if we had a standard rule set but different game modes, which is largely where the hobby has gotten in.
Yep.
Over the last couple of years, and I think I'm at least partially responsible for that, because I made very public how our club operated, and a lot of other clubs have picked up that model. Where things vary is what their FPS cap is. A lot of people cap at 120. More people cap at 150. But there's plenty of places that cap at 200. Just because, and I understand their reasons, because there are stores in Walmart that are at 200. And they don't want to tell people, sorry, the blaster you went and bought at Walmart 5 minutes ago, you can't use it here.
Yeah.
So, I understand why 200 is a reasonable cap, and all of those high-powered blasters come with iPro. So,
yes.
Then it comes down to, is your game more young kid friendly, or is it teenager and up? At which point, 200's fine. A lot of it also comes down to your venue. If you're in a real public place where non-players might be walking through and might get pegged, you might want to go with a lower FPS. But if you're going to be playing at low FPS or, stock rounds or whatever, or if you're on private property, I
would agree. But then I guess overall, as we circle back to where we started, I'm going to have to say that this year's Toy Fair showing across the board in terms of new blasters, I think you can say it was a home run. Like no one came as a disappointment. No one came as like, really, what are you doing? Really, what is this crap? Really?
Yeah, all of them had good stuff. There were the occasional, slightly more meh. But everybody had stuff where you went, okay, that's cool. Either because it was somewhat innovative. It was a return to better days, or it was just a cheaper version of something that already exists.
Yes, but still something new as well.
Yeah. So, it's very encouraging. It was like, oh, we've turned a page of all of the companies are making stuff that we actually want again. Because X-Shot for a long time, they made the cheap blasters, but they were decent quality and they got decent performance, but they were cheap, but they weren't pro. Dart Zone was making all pro stuff, and then the Adventure Force line. And now we're getting all of it. We're getting new pro blasters from Dart Zone and X-Shot and Worker. We're getting good HVZ level blasters from all three. We're getting good stuff from Hasbro again. And that's as much as, we've spent the last how long ragging on Hasbro. I have no problem with admitting they've made good stuff, and I'm happy to see them back. It was sad to see what they had become, and it's nice to see it, to be excited to get a Nerf blaster again.
They were licensing hose. That was it.
And I say that the Nerf is the second most popular toy after Lego. Lego licenses more stuff than I would like. I wish they would go back to more of their original creative stuff, because certain things get lost because of it. And in some of the licensing, I understand why they did it. The kids that were playing Fortnite are the same age of people that are going to play with Nerf, so let's make Fortnite Nerf blasters. And the thing is, most of them were good blasters. They were solid blasters because they were based on real guns. So they're all magazine fed. They're all semi-automatic or pump action, or they were cartoony, which isn't a bad thing in this hobby. No. The Overwatch blasters were all rival. Which not necessarily the best rival, but they were all still rival blasters. The downside there is they needed the blaster to look like the blaster from the game, and then they had to figure out how to put a functional rival blaster in it. And sometimes that was easy, and sometimes it wasn't. Like their McCree blaster, you're like, we need to make this fire rival. How do we do that? And their result was kind of a weird side load, single shot, weird priming mechanism, but it looks good from a distance. Then you get like
fun because it was different. That's what I liked about it. Because it was different. You pop it, one shot in, and it's a hand. It's like, that one I like.
It's big and bulky and ridiculous, but it was still cool. The Reaper shotguns were a perfectly good blaster. The Soldier 76 was fabulous, especially when I proton packed it. Oh, that thing has the most ridiculous rate of fire.
Yes, it does. One of my most used.
But then a lot of the Star Wars blasters, they ran into that same problem of, okay, first we need to make it look like the thing from the movies and the shows, and then we have to make it work. And that didn't always work well. Some of them it did, like the Cassian Andor blaster. It's just an AR, which is just a Stryfoid. Okay. Yep. Magazine fed, semi-automatic, we share. Others like the Mandalorian's one, you're like, I think you could have done.
Oh my god, that was just like, come on, man. That was that and the Aliens blaster. Sadness, man. It's like, I will give you this, and what did you do? You just crapped on it. Like, come on. Did I mention
it looks good?
Crapped on it.
It looks good from a distance, and it's got an ammo counter, and it's got noise, and it's got the shot, but you're like,
no.
The problem is, to make that really good, it would have gotten really expensive, and it was already expensive.
It would have sold then even. I would have been happy to hand out more money than what I did for that.
I mean, imagine if they'd made that a comp level half dart blaster. The money they would have made. It's built on a Tommy gun. It's already, a pistol caliber.
Yes. It's like
But again, it's not like they were going for the novelty, not for the functionality. Same thing with most of the Star Wars blasters. They're meant to be wall hanger. I know,
but come on, man.
Cosplay and
But even the guys that have it, they're like, no. Even the ones that aren't in the hobby, the cosplayers are like, no, and no.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, look what they did with the Ghostbusters Proton Pack. That thing's what, $17,000, and it's sold out.
Oh
I'm exaggerating. It was like $400 or $500, and they were gone like that. Why? Yeah. Because they looked like what they were supposed to.
I've been meaning to ask, and I'm going to speculate here and see what the chat thinks. Do we think Out of Darts changed the name of Proton Pack to Infinite Pack? Did they get a cease and desist?
Oh, I didn't think of that.
surely the
potentially avoiding a cease and desist.
Yeah, are they just avoiding it?
I
mean, I
think of
made one
that.
that actually, looked
Yes,
like
you
the
did.
proton wand, and nobody. Well, I got dinged for the music because I couldn't not put the music in the video.
No, you have to.
And I knew
You
I'm going to
have
get
to.
dinged for copyright. You're like, I'm okay with that. I don't need to make money off this.
Yes. You're not selling it. You just made it.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. That makes a lot of sense. And it's not necessarily, they may have been dinged, but then it might be avoiding ding just because they are growing. So the more you grow, the more people notice you. And actually, yeah, you were on Jimmy Kimmel with your proton packs.
They got some exposure.
Yeah, so I didn't think of that. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Why? Well, like my shoulder pads. You know what I mean? The Raider pads are the best ones. Why? They scream Raider pads, and I do not have to put a Raider logo on it. It's like, you know what I mean? Perfect. Perfect. Then my next step is like this one, Ravens pads. And this is because of one of my local guys is a Ravens super fan. I'm still probably going to change the center chest piece. But as soon as I did that, it's like, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm figuring something out. So, yeah. I get the avoiding getting letters. I've not gotten any, but also because I'm trying to make sure I don't get any.
Yeah. You got to be careful about licensed merch.
Yes.
What you could do, though, is if you could source an official team patch and just have the spot where it goes and send them a link to the thing that will fit.
Correct.
Then you're in the clear.
Actually, yeah, you're right. I got an idea now. All right, perfect. Because this is related to something else I'm making. All right, cool. Yes.
I do have the new Infinite pack. They are fabulous. I did run into one weird issue with mine, which was that my old Jupiters weren't pulling enough current to actually trip the backpack.
Really?
Luckily, the new ones have a USB-C port, and you can just flash the code and lower the threshold that it takes to trip the backpack, and problem solved. I did order the chandelier chain covers, and they are fabulous.
See?
It's so much easier to put on, and I don't have to sew them by hand.
I mean, if you can't, so if for anyone that owns old proton packs or infinite packs covering the hose, yeah, chandelier. It falls on like Amazon. It's called like a chandelier fabric cover.
Yeah.
Was it something like that?
I can just look it up. It's on Amazon. It's a 2-pack.
Yeah.
Which for most people that's going to be more than you'll ever have, but I have a lot of proton pack. I've got hose. I've got ones that aren't even covered yet. It's one of the last things I ordered.
But basically,
chandelier chain cover.
That's it, man. And it's perfect fabric that covers the hose and makes it look legit. If you don't want the gray, if you don't want it to look like a vacuum.
Yeah, more it covers the wires.
That too. Contains it all.
Makes it look much more professional. Oh, it's dark.
I gotta fix mine because I broke the connector. I still gotta order that piece.
Why would you do that?
Moving stuff around, and I guess how it sat. I don't know. I don't know stuff and things. What is in there? Oh yeah, that okay.
And pointed out Battlestar Galactica themed Nerf would be. Do they have a whole lot of really iconic blasters in Battlestar Galactica?
Not that I can remember. The fighters, yes.
Yeah. What other things would have really iconic weapons?
Yes.
Anybody ideas? Really iconic
Bueller
from sci-fi.
Warhammer.
Warhammer. Oh, what I wouldn't give for Warhammer themed Hasbro products. Doesn't Hasbro? Do they don't own Games Workshop, do they?
I don't know, but what about Dark? What if like Dart Zone or X Shop beat them to it. And you got pro
They
level.
could never afford the licensing.
Well, if the deal is sweet enough, and the gold mine that is Warhammer.
Warhammer's real
make it work.
picky.
Yeah.
But yeah, bolters and foam chain swords and Gauss cannons and Tau rifles. There is so much good potential
all the
there.
things, man. Yep. All the things.
On the same vein, I suppose you could do like StarCraft.
Is it popular enough though?
But it's cheaper than Warhammer, but with all the same concepts, Space Marines and aliens and space elves.
You know what? Never mind. How about you do this? Just put some money into R&D and engineering and come up with a cool gimmick. And make cool things.
No, nothing new. Only other people's stuff.
Ideas.
They can only rehash other stuff.
That's it. Nothing else counts.
Let's see.
By the way, I'm just noticing it's funny how small the Bison looks besides the Moose 1. And the Bison is not a small blaster.
No.
It's off camera. No, I can't show it because we've
got 17 minutes left. We're probably fine.
We've almost made it. We've almost made it.
Men in Black, they had some neat looking sci-fi stuff.
They did. It doesn't look like real stuff, so hopefully people are like, oh, these are really cool. Well, yeah, they are. And also, you're right, it comes down to licensing. What does it cost?
Yeah. Anybody coming up with any suggestions? They've done Star Trek. We brought up Borderlands. Borderlands is definitely would be a good one. Doom, like the video game.
Yeah.
Fifth Element. It would be really neat if they made the ZF one.
You know which one? Which would be crazy and fun and stupid? District 9.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen that.
No, that's the one where the aliens come down and they land in South Africa and they have a whole organization. They're almost like the aliens look like large cockroaches, but then I've
heard of it. I haven't.
It is, you got to see, and the coloring on their blasters, and they're big and funky looking and ridiculous, and yeah, that would be. Yeah, you want sci-fi? That would be good.
Flash Gordon. Let's go all the way back.
See, back to that.
They've done Halo, though they could probably do it more. Crawl! Yeah, there we go. I would like to see Earthworm Jim's blaster. Fallout, yes. Fallout would be another, which was basically Doomlands if they could do Doomlands right.
Yes.
Time Crisis.
All kinds of fun things. All to be seen next year at Toy Fair.
Predator weapons would actually be cool.
Yes.
That's a good call.
That is. Absolutely.
I'm scrolling random sci-fi weapons now.
Of course. Hey, what do you got coming up in the next month or so?
Nothing. And it's everything I believed it could be. I think our next event is, I want to say the 15th. Yeah, the 15th of March is our next mall battle. And then we'll be getting close to starting the Borst. We're doing 4 Borst events again this year. I think on the 21st of March, I'm going down to Springfield, Oregon. There's an event someone's putting on down there in a massive church complex. And some of the Out of Darts folks are going. So I'm going to see about hitching a ride with them.
That'll be good. So if everyone's following along online and if you're anywhere near Danbury, Connecticut, there is a small con I am going to. So KatsuCon happened this weekend. I didn't go. Awesome Con's happening March 15th. I'm not going to that one. They're larger cons that cost a lot of money, but then right now I'm not sure if the revenue you're making at them is worth it. However, this one in Danbury, Connecticut is not a big one. I don't know how much money I'm actually going to make on it, but the reason I'm going is that I'm going to be going with Containment Crew, with one Charles from Containment Crew. He is dipping his toes into conventions and asked if I wanted to tag along. Price was right, and never mind, I just get to hang out with Charles. So we will be at Danbury, Connecticut. I think it's March 21st or 2nd weekend. It's Dragons and something. It's a new one, but yeah, we will be there, and we will both have booths set up if you're anywhere near Danbury, Connecticut.
Cool. Looks like I might be able to hitch a ride with. I'll have to meet him in Vancouver, but it's a 2.5 hour drive for me, and I don't like driving. I'd much rather do a 1 hour, let someone else drive the next hour and a half.
I can confirm that.
Yeah.
The man does not like driving.
What do we got in the chat? Kane, Blade Runner had a couple of neat ones. Tennessee is doing, Tennessee is doing an HVZ Invitational. Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. Nice. Tennessee Tech, March 27th and 28th. Talanax is helping run that, so that's awesome. It's nice to see new HVZs starting up instead of just more and more of them dying. It's nice to see them coming back. There used to be 700 HVZs across the United States.
Unreal.
And the people who originally designed it, they had a website that anybody could use. Just create your club, and it would let you use the website, and it would track everything for you. So it would get all the players could sign up. It would register them all. It would give them a unique ID number that they then had to keep. And when you got tagged by a zombie, you gave them your ID number. They would then log into the system and put in the ID of the person they tagged, and it would track who was tagged by who and show you infection rates and charts. And I don't know if that's still active. But the world has changed in the last 10 years. I don't know if you've noticed.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I never played Wolfenstein, so I have no idea if that would be a good one.
Oh my God, the original one. Wolfenstein was what kind of led to Doom, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, they're interesting. They're greebled versions of real weapons, but really greebled versions, like Star Wars level greebled. If you didn't know what you were looking like, oh yeah, that's clearly the grip from a Luger, but that ain't a Luger's front end.
No, just slightly different.
I mean, I'd like it. I don't think Hasbro would ever do it, but I mean, if you did them in really bright colors, yeah, some of those could work. If they got even more sci-fi later on, like okay, yeah, they definitely did. Yeah, no, I think that would be a good one.
Of course, you remember Wolfenstein. You're in the age group.
I've heard of Z-Town, but only in stories.
Of course. You know what I've not worn on the stream in a while? CR Nerf shirt. I might just have to wear one next time just for the hell of it. Or at some point.
Yeah.
I know. I should have pulled that one out. We're not coordinated always. Sometimes we just.
I actually was going to wear my Al the Geek shirt, but I couldn't find it, so I wore this one instead.
Let me know. I'll find the Captain Xavier one, and we'll have a reversal day.
I'll do the intro. I'll pretend to be Al.
There it is.
Send me a picture of your backdrop, and I can CGI it behind me.
Perfect. Well, you know what? April Fool's Day. We'll do that one for April.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. We have a plan, man. We have a plan.
Oh dear. I hate plans.
Well,
that's no good. April 1st is a Friday.
Yeah, so it's something before or
We'll have to wait
whenever.
until it's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And on the Wednesday that we're doing it, it could be a while.
It could be.
Everyone will
that
have
other
forgotten
guy
that we were
might be
planning
on.
to do it by then, so it'll be okay.
Well, if we put it out there, someone will remember and say, "Hey, I thought you were going to do this," and we'll say, "Oh yeah, we were, weren't we?" It's like putting on a calendar, kind of.
Yeah, okay. If we get Casual Felon on, we will all wear the CR Nerf shirts.
There we go.
Because apparently he has one.
Yes, he does. He wore it during the Ragnarok stream.
Yeah.
He did.
It's such a comfortable shirt. It's a really nice material.
It is. It is. It's green, not yellow, but you know what? That's okay. Exceptions can be made.
Green's got yellow in it.
Yeah. You can't make it without yellow, so it definitely works.
Goodbye. I mean, we'll be leaving in 7 minutes. I'm gonna go get some
Yeah, we're about heading now. There you go. All right. Is there anything you need to tell people? Anything you got to wrap up and tell people? Your pre-birthday meal, that is?
No. Tomorrow's my birthday. Feel free to not send me anything. I'm a very old man.
Yes and no. We both have different numbers at the beginning of our ages, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways. So yeah, again, overall, I think Toy Fair success.
Yeah.
I think overall was a success, man, which was kind of nice to see. And again, the year's only began, so we'll see what else starts trickling out as the year progresses. But if it's going to continue this way, man, we're in for a good year, which makes me happy. That brings me joy. In other news, it does.
A new root beer shop.
Oh, there we go. You just caught your attention.
All right, let's talk root beer. All
right, you got a few minutes. Hurry up.
Oh no, it's too dark in here. You can't see. Give me a second.
That's right.
Before I run out.
All right, he's gonna show you all root beer and stuff like that and do stuff. But yeah, as always, this Wednesday, Andrew, aka Dart Sweep, will be on, and I'm not sure who he's got on, but as always, Andrew will be available on that Wednesday.
My root beer bottle
the
collection
has
become a problem, and so I finally got around to.
There it is.
Building. It goes all the way around. The topmost row. Okay, so this one's sarsaparillas, birch beers, and then the top row is root beer, and it literally goes all the way around. So yes, I am still on the lookout for new root beers. If you can find me root beers I've never had before. Hofbrau.
Oh, there we go. Something different.
Don't think I have ever had Hofbrau. But I definitely don't have it here.
I don't know it either.
You're holding out on me. Rude. Andy Work wants to be on the show. Has he not been on the show?
Sure. No, because we got to work it out with the timing and other things. It might be a little difficult or challenge. We got to get it sorted.
We can make it happen.
Yeah, because he was on for Foam's-giving.
Was he?
I think so. Yeah, he was.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, let's get him on the show.
Yes. All right.
The lag will be magnificent. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that's right. It was a terrible lag. Oh, my God. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. All right.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. So,
everything
for my birthday, send me root beers. Especially new root beers.
Send him root beers.
One of these days, I will remember to actually make a video about it and post the spreadsheet of the root beers that I have had, so you know which ones I've had. It's a long list.
All right. So once again, thanks everyone for tuning in. As always, we will be on again in 2 weeks. We are a bi-weekly show, and we'll talk about everything Nerf related. Hopefully next time, I don't know, I got to check. He gave me dates, but we will be having guests soon, and one of them will be Casual Felon, aka Foam Nation. He hasn't even told me which name he's going with, but that's how we know him. And anyways, he's good people. You saw him on Ragnarok Oktoberfest as the stream for the tournament. As always, hit the like hit the like button. Please subscribe. Yeah. Speaking of Buck Rogers, and anyway, so yeah, like the stream, hit the follow button, share with all your friends. Keep an eye out for local events that are happening. It is already February, man. Time is racing, and don't miss out on local events. Plan them out, man. We love to see you there. We'll keep you posted as we are out at different things and doing our things. But other than that, man, yeah, man, go out, be good to one another. That's part of what makes this community great. And even though we're trying to be good to one another, it's that time. So do me a favor, man. Get off my lawn.